Hi everybody, it's Sarah Price again, and we are on mile marker number 2 today. So mile marker number 1, we changed our backup order to process between the 1st and the 16th of every month so that we start out with some PV, we start out with our products, and now we're ready to move on to mile marker number 2. Mile marker number 2 is writing down your why and then sharing that on social media. So if you haven't already heard, or if you haven't already talked to your upline about your why, this is why you chose to start sharing in this business. We say why I plexus. I don't know if you've seen that hashtag already, but if you haven't, you will. Why do you plexus? So everybody has a reason that they decided to get involved in this business and decided to take the leap and start sharing these incredible products and incredible business with their friends and family. And for all of us, it looks a little bit different, right? We all have a little bit different reasons for our motivation for sharing. So it is so important for all of us to write down that why, because this business has ups and downs, right? And when we are in our down times, that why is what is going to keep us going. And that's what we're going to come back to time and time again. That's what's going to remind us of, what our vision is and what our goals are and what's possible with this business. So it's really, really important for you guys all to really think through that and write that down so that you are able to come back to it when you need to, when you're feeling a little bit discouraged. So that's there for you to come back to. But before you share it on your social media, I want to talk a little bit about what versus why. So those two things look a little bit differently. We all have a what and we all have a why. And the difference between those two things is your what is kind of basic, but your why has some emotion attached to it. It has that's where the vision comes in. That's where the dreaming happens. So, for example, your what may be to be debt-free. I'm excited about doing Plexus, and one of my goals with Plexus is to be debt-free. But that's not necessarily your why. So when you make that transition, I want you guys to think about, okay, what does my life look like? What does my everyday life look like if I'm able to achieve that what? So if you are able to be debt-free, what is that going to mean for your family? What is that going to mean for your finances every month? What's that going to mean for, the financial pressure that you're under every single month of, bills and groceries and rent and mortgage and all of the things that we have to pay for every single month, childcare? Or is that going to take pressure off of your spouse? Is that going to allow them more freedom in their job? Is that going to allow you to cut back on your hours at work? What is that going to look like for your family? Are you going to be able to take more vacations? Are you going to be able to finally save up for your dream house? Or is your husband going to be able to take more vacations, or your spouse? Just what does that look like for your family? So kind of to give you an example of one of my whys, and my whys have definitely changed since I started. It'll be 3 years in April that I will have been with Plexus. And if your why hasn't changed already, it definitely will. My why started out very differently than what it is today. So one of my we'll start with what, just for example's sake. One of my big whats is so that we can give generously. So we can teach our children the joy that comes with serving others. But let's take that a step further. So what does our life look like if we're able to do those things? My income with Plexus has allowed us to do those things, and it's allowed us to give to causes and to charities that are near and dear to our heart. My husband is a teacher, and we're on a limited income, and before Plexus, our giving was definitely it was just definitely finite. You know, we had a very limited giving budget. We weren't able to, we didn't have the wiggle room that we wanted to. So my income has allowed us to really support friends who are doing incredible things in our community and incredible things in the world. It's allowed us to see needs and to be able to meet needs without, you know, having to dip into other areas of our budget. And ultimately, it's going to allow us to take mission trips with our kids. And I mean, what an incredible gift that is going to be to our children, to be able to see just the joy that comes from serving others, and to be able to see what life is like for people who are less fortunate than us. And that is a lesson that is going to stick with them their entire lives. And that's a core value of what we want to teach our children, and is a core value of our family, is service to others who are in need. So, you know, my what is to be able to give more generously, but my why has so much more attached to that. So I want you guys to think through that. Really think about your what versus your why, and take some time and type it out or write it down on paper, and really hammer that in, and really hone in on what your why is for you and for your family. And once you have it written down or typed out, or you know, something like that, then share it on your social media. Share it with your friends and your family, because there's emotion attached to that. And people want, you know, they're friends with you on Facebook because they want to know you and want to know your heart and what's going on in your life. And when you share your vision for this business and the hope that you have with this company and with these products and what you are excited to achieve, then that really speaks volumes. It really makes this a personal thing to you, and shows them that, you know, you are not just in this to make some money. You don't just see them all as dollar signs. You really have a goal and a vision, and something that's really personal to you, and shows them all what's possible with this business. So it doesn't have to be super, you know, long, or it doesn't need to be 2 pages written out on your Facebook, you know, profile, but share a little bit about maybe just one of your whys, maybe just, you know, to take some financial pressure off of your family, or maybe it's to stay home, or maybe it's to pay off your car, or to be able to pay your mortgage with your Plexus income, you know, whatever it is, and what that's going to look like for your family. So this is a really fun thing and a really exciting thing. And for some people, it's a little bit scary, and that's okay. That's okay to do things that scare us and to do things that stretch us, because ultimately that really does help us grow. And so much of this business is about personal growth. If you haven't already experienced it, I promise you will. And it's maybe one of the most rewarding things about this business, is just the personal growth that you will experience. So I'm so excited to see all of your whys and to read them, and excited for you guys to share your heart with your friends and your family. So just like we did yesterday, after you have shared that why on your Facebook page, I want you to screenshot it, or you maybe copy and paste, but put it in the comments section of this video, and that will get you entered into our drawing at the end of this mile marker series. So I'm really excited. If you guys want any help on your whys, if you want, you know, maybe somebody to kind of proof it or give you some feedback, then I'm happy to do that for you. You can also get with your upline, or maybe you have a sideline that you've kind of buddied up with. So if you want, you know, get some feedback on that before you put it out there to the world, that's okay. But do it. And I think you will be just really surprised and really happy about the support that you're going to get from your Plexus family, but also your other friends and family. So anyway, this is a really fun little exercise, and I'm really excited to see all of your whys. So, all right, everybody, I hope you have a great day, and we will see you soon.